How are you students? Akkam jirtu barattoota nagaa keessanii? Viidiyoo kana keessatti waa'ee positive climate change effect fi negative climate change waliin ilaalla. Question number 1. Which of the following is an example of climate forcing mechanism? A. Sea level rise. B. Increase in vegetation. C. Increase in atmospheric carbon dioxide from fossil fuels. D. Thawing of permafrost. Sea level rise is a consequence, not forcing mechanism. A says that sea level rise. This is a consequence, not forcing mechanism. While increase in vegetation is negative climate change feedback, is also not forcing. By the way, wanti isin beekuu qabdan barattoota, negative feedback fi positive feedback adda baafachuu qabdu. Negative feedback jechuun kuufama qilleensa naannoo faaluu danda'u hir'isuu kan danda'u negative jenna. Maaliif? xiqqeessaa jira waan ta'eedhaaf. Positive feedback kan jennu immoo kan ho'iinsa hanga ho'iinsa qilleensaa dabaluu danda'u. Global warmingin akka jiraatu, climate changing akka jiraatu wantoonni godhan positive feedback jedhamu. D yoo ilaalle thawing of permafrost, naannoo arkitikitti qilleensi naannoo akka ho'u gochuudha. So it is known as positive feedback. C. The increase in atmospheric carbon dioxide from fossil fuel, a primary example of a climate forcing mechanism, which means carbon dioxide traps heat and initiating warming effect. Carbon dioxide in ho'e akka jiraatu taasisa. Kanaaf warming effect in akka uumamu taasisa jechuudha. So C is the correct answer. Question number 2. Which of the following best defines positive feedback in the context of climate change? A. A process that cools the Earth's climate. B. A process that reverses climate warming. C. A process that amplifies warming due to additional emissions. D. Human action to reduce climate change. Cooling would be negative effect, as I have said earlier, while reversing warming is not positive feedback. Human action like reducing emission is mitigation, is not a feedback. Positive feedback amplifies the original change. For example, thawing permafrost releases more greenhouse gases. This causes more warming. See, the process that amplifies warming due to additional emission is the correct answer. Question number 3. Vegetation growth acts as a negative feedback in climate change due to A. It produces oxygen. B. It increases albedo. C. It absorbs carbon dioxide. D. It traps more heat. Vegetation growth acts as a negative feedback. Why? Because it absorbs and decreases carbon dioxide and decreases the storage of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Misoomuun biqilootaa negative feedback kan ta'e jijjiirama qilleensaa keessatti sababni isaa kuufama qilleensa ho'aa kanneen akka carbon dioxide atmosfeera keessa ta'anii naannoo ho'isuu gammojummaa babal'isuu danda'aniin waan xuuxuufidha. Oxygen production is not the main cooling mechanism, and also increased albedo refers to reflection of sunlight, not the mentioned in climate change feedback. Heat trapping is positive feedback, not is negative. D is also not the answer. As a result, vegetation absorbs carbon dioxide, reducing the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and thus reducing warming. This is negative feedback. So C is the correct answer. Question number 4. Which of the following statement states the permafrost thawing? A. It helps to reduce warming. B. It leads to less methane in the atmosphere. C. It acts as strong positive feedback. D. It is no longer relevant today. Helping to reduce warming, it says A. It worsens, not reducing warming. Permafrost worsens the warming, not reducing warming. Permafrost increases methane, not decreasing methane. B is not the answer. Still lots of permafrost, so it is very relevant. D says that permafrost is no longer relevant today, it says, but no, permafrost is still very relevant. So thawing releases carbon dioxide and methane, which are greenhouse gases, amplifying warming. As a result, permafrost acts as strong positive feedback. C is the correct answer. Question number 5. Which of the following is not a consequence of current climate warming? A. Melting snow and permafrost. B. Sea level rise. C. Increased solubility of carbon dioxide in water. D. Vegetation pattern changes. Melting snow and permafrost, sea level rise, and the vegetation pattern changes are all explicitly mentioned as effects of warming, and so is not increasing the solubility of carbon dioxide in water. But increased solubility of carbon dioxide in water is not. Warming actually reduces the solubility of carbon dioxide, so this is not the consequence of current warming climate change. C is the correct answer.
chaanalii keessan ji'oolessan 17 tiዩbii waan daawwattaniif galatooma. ji'oolessan 17 tiዩብ chaanaalachuun sila gobanyaachuu አመሰግናለሁ። ji'oolessan 17 tiዩብ chaanaalii milkoomina egeree dhalootaaf dhimmu